Picture this: a peaceful suburban dad turns his backyard pool into a hilarious Halloween-haunted haven, complete with floating skeletons and fog machines. But then HOA Queen Karen calls the cops, claiming it's a macabre menace, only for her power trip to explode in her face, costing her everything. It was just another crisp October afternoon in Willowbrook Estates. That picture-perfect slice of American suburbia where the lawns are greener than envy and the rules thicker than a phone book. I'm Jack Harlan, a quiet software engineer who'd spent years biting my tongue while whispers about my weird family floated around like autumn leaves. They said I was the guy who didn't fit, too introverted, too into quirky holidays, maybe even hiding something shady because I worked from home. Truth was, I was just raising my 2 kids after a messy divorce, keeping to myself while observing every petty drama unfold from my front porch. But this Halloween, I decided to go all out, transforming our pool into the lagoon of the undead. Picture glowing fog rolling over the water, skeleton lifeguards in goofy sunglasses perched on rafts, and a massive inflatable Grim Reaper doing lazy laps. The neighborhood kids lost their minds, shrieking with delight, snapping pics, begging for invites. Even the UPS guy cracked a smile when a motion sensor zombie groaned at him. It was pure, tacky fun, the kind that makes suburbia bearable. Then came Karen Voss, the HOA president who'd reigned like a benevolent dictator for a decade. Mid-50s. Always in starched blouses with pearls choking her neck like a noose of self-importance. She patrolled the streets with a clipboard that might as well have been a scepter. Community standards, she'd coo at meetings, her voice dripping with faux concern, as if enforcing paint colors was a moral crusade. But behind that smile, a machine of control, twisting bylaws to squash anything that threatened her tidy little empire. She'd find folks for unauthorized bird feeders and spread rumors about nonconformists to rally her loyalists, retirees with nothing better to do than nod along. That Sunday, as I strung purple lights along the fence, Karen materialized at my gate like a bad omen. "Mr. Harlan," she said, her tone all honeyed authority, clipboard poised like a weapon. "These installations violate Section 4. Paragraph 7b, Aesthetic Harmony and Decency Standards." I blinked, wiping fog machine mist from my glasses. "You mean the Halloween stuff? It's just decorations." "Karen, the kids love it." She arched an eyebrow, lips pursing like she'd tasted vinegar. "Decorations? This is a grotesque parade of death imagery. We maintain elevated tranquility here, not a carnival of morbidity." My 9-year-old daughter peeked out, giggling as a skeleton dabbed on its Floa tie. I offered Karen some spiced cider to diffuse. "No thank you," she sniffed. "I don't accept refreshments from violators. Expect a formal notice." She snapped photos, the pool, the zombies, even my dog's tiny pumpkin bandana, then marched off, nearly tripping on an extension cord. The zombie groaned, she yelped. I bit back a laugh. But inside, I felt the first stir of that quiet rage. Whispers started immediately. "Jack's turning the place into a freak show," they said on the neighborhood app. Karen had already posted a veiled warning about disruptive elements. By evening, the fines hit my mailbox like confetti from hell: $50 for unauthorized aquatic features, $75 for atmospheric disturbances, the fog machine, and a daily $25 for thematic lighting inconsistencies. I stared at the email. Timestamped 6:07 p.m. Worded like a corporate execution notice. Thematic offensive content, it read. Offensive? To who? The ghosts? I called her the next morning. Voice steady. "Karen, this is ridiculous. It's October, everyone's got pumpkins. Papers rustled on her end. Multiple complaints. Mr. Harlan. Anonymously. Of course. From you? Silence. Then, this isn't personal. It's about preserving our brand of serenity. Skeletons undermine that. Serenity? In a place where you couldn't park an extra car without a permit? I hung up. But the rumors escalated. Now I was that divorced guy scaring kids, probably unstable. Neighbors averted eyes, one even crossed the street. Code enforcement showed up that night. A weary inspector flashing his light over the silent pool. Noise complaint, he muttered. But it's off. He shrugged. Caller insisted. Karen's perfume lingered in the air like guilt. Fines piled up, $100 more for excessive decorative density. My inbox became a battlefield. Each ding tightening my chest. But I didn't yell. I observed. Printed every notice. And started reading the bylaws, all 87 soul-sucking pages. The neighborhood fractured like a bad sitcom. Karen's preservation squad, her pearl-clutching cronies, photographed my yard from bushes, posting about declining property values. But the younger families rallied quietly, kids left drawings of skeletons on my porch. Parents whispered support. Petitions flew, hers for restoring dignity, mine, anonymous. Of course, for holiday freedom. The HOA Facebook exploded. Karen's posts about non-compliant threats got ratioed with memes of floating bones. She deleted them. But screenshots spread. By midweek, she hand-delivered a certified letter, $500 daily until removal. I read it on the porch. Fog curling mockingly. Dad. Do we have to take it down? My son asked. Eyes wide. Not yet, I said. Pocketing it. Inside. I scrolled deeper into the bylaws. There it was. Buried in Section 12D, displays of religious or cultural nature for seasonal observances are exempt. Halloween's Celtic roots, Samhain. Honoring spirits, fit like a glove. Karen wanted a rule war? Fine. I'd play smarter. That night, I rebranded, signs reading Samhain spiritual exhibit, complete with historical printouts. The whispers flipped, now I was that clever guy fighting back. Tensions boiled over at the emergency HOA meeting in the clubhouse. Packed with popcorn-munching neighbors and buzzing phones. Karen stood front and center. Projector beaming my pool under non-compliance evidence. This mockery exploits our bylaws, she declared. Voice quivering with righteous fury. Halloween isn't faith, it's commercial trash. Murmurs rippled. I stepped up. Binder in hand. Actually. Karen. Per Section 12D. I handed copies. Highlighted. She snatched one. Face reddening. This is absurd. The door swung open. Officers Ramirez and Lee, the same duo from her cop call, strolled in with City Inspector Greg Mills. Routine check on fraud claims, Greg said dryly. Karen stammered. What fraud? Greg flipped his folder. Yours. State code protects religious displays. Yours qualifies. The room gasped. Then chuckled. Karen pounded the table. This destroys our standards. Skeletons in pools, it's sinful. Ramirez deadpanned. Ma'am. The only sin here is wasting taxpayer time. Laughter erupted. I played her a recorded rant from my driveway. People like you don't belong in our pure community. Phones lit up, views skyrocketed. Greg sighed. You're in violation now, harassment and misuse. Karen's composure shattered. Face a mask of crimson panic. You can't. I've built this. A board member. Quiet till now. stood. Karen. You've turned us into a joke. Motion to remove. Unanimous. She stormed out. Clipboard clattering. To cheers. The fallout was glorious suburban apocalypse. By morning, Poolgate trended, clips of Karen's meltdown photoshopped onto tombstones. News segments dubbing it Skeleton Rights Revolution. The city audited the HOA. Turns out Karen siphoned funds for her presidential perks, like premium lawn care. She resigned in exhaustion, but we knew better. Linda, the new president, reformed everything, celebrate freely, no skeletons harmed. Next Halloween, the pool party was official. Reaper raft and all. Kids splashed. Adults toasted. Even Greg showed up in a bylaws matter tee. As Fod danced under the stars, I raised a cider to the quiet win. Revenge? Nah, just justice. Served with a grin. So, was Karen the real monster? Or do HOAs just breed them? Drop your thoughts. Who's the villain in your neighborhood nightmare?